books, books, and even more books. Stick around!
Welcome to Business Edge Radio, the show that gives you tips, tricks, tools, and techniques about how to build a more profitable business, while at the same time creating your perfect lifestyle. It's a show about working less and living more. A few golden nuggets, a little bit of wisdom, and over 35 years of business experience to help you keep your edge. Lifestyle entrepreneur, best-selling author, internationally renowned business speaker, and daddy of three, Mitch Graff brings the heat with actionable techniques for building the business and lifestyle of your dreams. Now your host, Mitch Graff.
Well, good day, my Unleashed tribe, and welcome to another edition of Business Edge Radio, the ultimate brainstorming session for your business and your life. I am your effervescent and vivacious host, Mitch Graff, and on today's show, I'm going to be sharing with you a ton of book reviews on books that will not only give you the competitive edge for your business, but also some golden nuggets that you can apply to your life as well. If you're a fan of the show already, you're already aware of the fact that I share a book review on most episodes because I believe that when you read, the entire world opens up to you, and you can quickly put yourself on top of the heap when it comes to your knowledge. I love reading actual books, not on my device, but paper in my hands. And I love reading to my children every single day. Reading can give you that spark that pushes you to try new things, go to new places, and solve the problems of your life. I can remember not too long ago when I used to see people all over the place with their noses in a book, at the airport, at the coffee shop, in a park, all over. Now, people seem to have their noses in something, but it's not a book, it's their device. Granted, you can still read books on your device with apps like Audible or on your Kindle, but most of the time that people spend in their device is not spent reading. One of my biggest joys is when I get a new box of books from Amazon or when I go to a bookstore and spend some time buried in a variety of subjects. When was the last time that you read a book? And I do mean an actual book. Do your daily reading habits center around tweets and Facebook updates or the directions on your instant oatmeal packet? If you're one of the countless people who don't make a habit of reading regularly, you're missing out. There's many benefits to reading, and here's just a few. Increased mental stimulation, stress reduction, better knowledge, vocabulary expansion, memory improvement, stronger analytical thinking skills, improved focus and concentration, better writing skills, and it's pretty cheap entertainment. I guarantee that if you are willing to invest an hour a day into reading and self-improvement, just an hour, at the end of a year, you will absolutely be an expert in your chosen field, and a completely new world will open itself up to you. And to help you get started with this goal, here's a few books that I can highly recommend.
A day without reading a book is like... Just kidding. I have no idea what that's like. Here's Mitch with this week's book review.
Today, I want to take a look at a book that should be on the bookshelf of every entrepreneur in the world, as it resets the way that you look at not just starting a business, but running a business as well. The book is called The Lean Startup: How Today's Entrepreneurs Use Continuous Innovation to Create Radically Successful Businesses by Eric Ries. We are truly living in a world of the startup. These days, almost everyone has the means and technology to start a business. However, just because it is more accessible doesn't mean it's any easier. In fact, for every successful startup, there are literally hundreds of duds that fall short. In The Lean Startup, Eric Ries goes through the process that you need to take to create a startup that is not only sustainable, but also successful. He mentions in the book that you have to look at a startup differently than an established business, as you have no history to help predict your future. Here's the three main lessons from the book. Number one, make sure you manage your startup like a startup. Build, measure, learn, repeat. Initially, you need to focus on one growth engine and build from there. And too often, new businesses try to be all things to all people. And this book gives a detailed path on how to truly focus on one product or one service at the beginning. It's more of a mindset shift. For a long-standing corporation, the process for future growth is simple. Create an overarching plan and hire the right people to help see it through. Seems simple. However, a startup is a completely different animal than an established business. A startup has no history to base decisions from, so planning a future is near impossible. Yet a lot of startups use corporate management tools like milestone plans and long-term marketing projections. Many of these startups plan every little detail and make sure that their product is perfect before going to market. This logic is flawed at best for a startup. How can you create the perfect product or service when you don't have a customer? Well, there's a saying that goes, done is better than perfect. It's called MVP, minimal viable product. It's almost like you are creating a key and looking for a lock that it fits in when you can find an unopened lock and then create a key to open it. Focusing too much on your product and not on the customers will also kill your startup. If you're starting a business, there's only one initial goal that you should be focusing on: creating a sustainable business model. That's it. That means that you have to be always experimenting and trying to find a group of customers with the same problem, and then you give them a way to solve that problem. And like any experiment, you'll start with a hypothesis. Customer X struggles with Y and would purchase Z to solve it, and then you test accordingly. Experiment until you find a hypothesis that you prove, and away you go. All right, lesson number 2. Having a successful startup is basically a continuous failure until you finally succeed. Don't worry though, that failure is what you want. That failure is learning. And to have a business that is ready for the long term, you have to learn which product to build, whom to build it for, and how to promote it, how to advertise it. For example, Zappos had the hypothesis that people would buy shoes online. Pretty simple hypothesis. For their minimal viable product, for their MVP, they created a fake store with photos of shoes from other shoe stores. And then when enough people tried to buy the shoes from their website, they then created an actual store and started selling shoes. With your MVP, minimally viable product, your goal is to test and see what works and adapt until you find something that sticks. This requires you to collect the right data, talk to the prospective clients to get the honest feedback that you need. You may find that you need to make small tweaks, or you might even have to do a larger pivot. A pivot is a more substantial fundamental change. Maybe the core value of your product is off, or perhaps you need to change the target market slightly. A pivot usually comes from a change in your hypothesis. Regardless, don't consider a pivot as a failure. You are learning and a step closer to creating a sustainable business model. Every business will have to make pivots in the startup phase. Groupon, for example, originally started as a fundraising platform before pivoting to the daily deals platform that we all know and love today. And lesson 3, initially focus on one growth engine and build from there. And to me, that means you focus on a single product or service, build it out, and then you can do line extension. You can add things after that. I've used many aspects of this book when I ventured into the new startup world and can highly recommend you add it to your list of must-haves. You can find this book as well as many other great reads at powermarketing101.com/hotlist. That's powermarketing101.com/hotlist. Since 1928, when Steamboat Willie was debuted, the Walt Disney Company has always stood for excellence. Whether it's the newest employee, they call them cast members, or one with over 40 years of experience, all the employees are passionate about making magic happen. Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse are probably the most widely recognized names in the world, and the mere mention of their names creates a spark to our imagination and brings a smile to our faces. Over the past 100+ years, there's been themes like Remember the Magic and 100 Years of Magic and Where Magic Lives. My guess is that every single person listening to this show has memories of when you were a kid, watching a Disney movie or going to one of the amusement parks or reading a book. and that magical feeling comes all over our bodies. My family took a trip down to Southern California a couple of years ago, and the look on my, at the time, 4-year-old daughter's face when she saw Cinderella, and then Cinderella actually talked to her, is something that I will remember for the rest of my days, and she still remembers it because she talks about it on a regular basis. Whenever we're reading a book on Cinderella or there's a TV commercial, she reminds me that I know her, you know. When those moments happen, it makes everything else not quite so important. My book review today is on Be Our Guest, Perfecting the Art of Customer Service, which is put together by the Disney Institute, which is the global professional training arm of Walt Disney Corporation. One of the most recognized names in professional development, the Institute travels the world offering engaging seminars and workshops as well as customized programming. The book gives you kind of a behind-the-scenes glimpse of how their business theory drives their operational excellence. Walt's fundamentals for success still ring true today. You build the best product you can, you give people effective training to support the delivery of exceptional service, you learn from your experiences, you celebrate success, you never stop growing, you never stop believing. And he also believed that no organization can succeed without a great workforce. We all must satisfy our guests, or our customers, or our clients, and convince them to return and recommend us to others, which is how any business grows organically over time. Walt called it guestology, meaning the art and science of knowing and understanding your customers. Customers want memorable experiences, and quality service means exceeding your guests' expectations by paying attention to every detail of the delivery of your products and services. Did you know that at any of their theme parks, they have cast members, employees, whose only job is to go around and pick up every single piece of trash, even as small as a nutshell? Sometimes it's the things that you don't notice that make the biggest difference. If there was trash all around, like you might see in other locations, you would definitely notice it. But the absence of trash is something that doesn't typically register in our brains, but it does make a tremendous difference in our overall experience. If the little wows are delivered consistently and continuously, they add up to one big wow. Building culture is not a science. In fact, it's a mysterious process that, when done well, can unite the energy and emotions of an entire workforce into a laser-like focus. Some of the chapters include topics like how to understand your customers, how to treat them, what's the Walt Disney way, training your cast to be mindful of the customer, first impressions, appealing to all 5 senses, and the key elements of creating magical service moments. A couple of key takeaways: make exceeding expectations the standard call of duty for your workforce and your business culture. Be mindful that everything speaks, everything, and it all has the potential to either inflict damage on your brand or it can help you build your brand. And here's one of my favorite quotes in the book. You don't build it for yourself. You know what people want, and you build it for them. It's a fascinating book that will help you look at how your business can provide the best possible customer experience. You can find this book, as well as many other great reads, at powermarketing101.com/hotlist. That's powermarketing101.com/hotlist. Hello, Unleashed Tribe. I am so honored to have you as a loyal listener, and I'm very excited to tell you about the Business Edge Radio app, now available on Apple and Android devices. You can catch up on past episodes, watch short videos of the Business Edge Minute, our 60-second show that gives you quick and easy tips on building a better business and living a better life. And you'll get access to bonus materials that are only available on the app. In fact, I have a nice little PDF bonus waiting for you there right now. Plus, you can email the show, call the show, connect with us on social, check out our website, and even make a nice fluffy omelet. No, you can't really do that. Just go to the iTunes Store or Google Play Store, and you can download the Business Edge Radio app so you can be one of the cool kids on your block. Business Edge Radio, the ultimate brainstorming session for your business and life. Now available in the App Store. Download it today. And if you don't, I'll come visit you on your day off. Fans of Business Edge Radio, I have a very special treat for you. As you know, I love barbecuing and making up any excuse to get myself outdoors. And that's why I'm so excited to partner with Barbecue Nation. They make incredible sauces and rubs and spices and meat shredders and grill scrapers and lots more. And they're offering a deal for our listeners. Check out bbqnation.net. And when you place an order for any of their products, you'll receive a 20% discount off your order when you enter the word EDGE at checkout. Looking for a magnet that lists your cooking temperatures or different types of smoking woods? They got that. Need a heavy-duty set of meat shredders for your pulled pork or shredded chicken sliders? They got that too. Or my favorite is their Magic Dust Everything Rub that will spice up just about any dish. Log on to bbqnation.net. That's bbqnation.net today. And when you enter the code EDGE at checkout, you'll receive a 20% discount just because you hang out with us on the show. Barbecue Nation, get your grill on. In today's business world, it's vitally important that you understand what I call the 7 pillars of business success, which are lifestyle design, time management, branding, sales, marketing, pricing, and social media. Regardless of what industry you're in, and whether you have a brick and mortar or are only online, having a solid foundation in these skill sets will set you up for success down the road. And to personally help you with your journey, I've written a book called The Business Basics Bootcamp, the ultimate crash course, now available on Amazon.com and from other fine bookstores. And it'll give you a 30,000-foot view on these topics and many more. It'll help you slow down just a little bit so that you can get your business house in order and get your creative juices a-flowing. Log on to Amazon.com today and get your copy of Business Basics Bootcamp, the ultimate crash course. You can search my name, Mitch Graff, or search the title of the book. In the dog-eat-dog world of business success, the weak will perish and the strong will survive. Which will you be?
A day without reading a book is like... Just kidding. I have no idea what that's like. Here's Mitch with this week's book review.
Today's book is called The Long Tail: How Endless Choice is Creating Unlimited Demand by Chris Anderson, who is the former editor of Wired magazine. The book argues that products in low demand or that have low sales volume can collectively build a better market share than their rivals or exceed the relatively few current bestsellers or blockbusters, provided the store or distribution channel is large enough. The term long tail has gained a lot of popularity as describing the retail strategy of selling a large number of different items which each sell a relatively small quantity, usually in addition to selling large quantities of a small number of popular items as well. Chris Anderson popularized the concept in an October 2004 Wired magazine article, in which he mentioned Amazon, Apple, and Yahoo as examples of businesses applying this strategy. Then came the book. He gives hard facts, charts, and numbers, plus futuristic insights. He decodes the mysteries of online marketing, internet-based commerce, and other new age economic realities. His calculations, the public feedback he's received, and extensive research that he put into the book offer more than just statistics for the sake of proving his point. Online retailing has a long reach into niche markets. This gives its products longevity that stores with finite shelf space can't match, no matter how much steam they get from short-lived blockbuster products. Anderson credibly explains the decline in box office sales and the rise of niche companies such as Netflix and iTunes. Consider a time capsule from the 70s and 80s. Mega hits from Michael Jackson and the Eagles dominated the music scene. Corporate hit machines cranked out a short list of top television shows, movies, and performers. The message? Either you're hot or you're not. And in the hit-dominated world of the 70s and 80s, the mega hits were the gods of profits. The story of the long tail is really about the economics of abundance. What happens when the bottlenecks that stand between supply and demand in a culture start to disappear and everything becomes available to everyone? Not anymore. Fast forward to the internet age, broadband, cable, DVDs, web facilities, video games, iPods, personalized soundtracks, blogs. They've replaced the older, narrow band of network radio and TV shows. The long tail began well before Amazon or eBay popped up on your home computer. Ironically, the long tail is actually the offspring of the traditional retail industry. Non-web-based retail innovations such as credit cards, overnight delivery, and modern inventory standards helped nurture the new order long before the internet came along. Online merchandising also has democratized distribution, as shown by online companies that like to collect and distribute products, such as music and digitized data. Social sites like Facebook are aggregators, as is Wikipedia, which is an online contributor-based encyclopedia. As a collector and distributor of information, Wikipedia draws from many so-called amateurs who often, but not always, show greater breadth, responsiveness, and self-correcting accuracy than traditional knowledge and production channels. The publishing industry also demonstrates the long tail's power. Consider the math. About 200,000 books are published annually in English. The standard library superstore will stock around 100,000 titles, and many of those will not sell. A typical book sells about 500 copies in the United States, which means that roughly 98% of published manuscripts remain non-commercial. But online booksellers, self-publishing companies, and print-on-demand services have built a very lucrative market for low-volume books. As music expert Kevin Laws has said, the biggest money is in the smallest sales. Unconventional sellers find profits in obscure titles. The way the market works today is when you order a book on Amazon, for example, they have a digital file of the book and the cover that they send to a fancy printer that prints your one book, packages it, then ships it out, all without having a warehouse of 1,000 books like in the olden days. I can remember my very first book when I published it back in the late 90s. My publisher had to guess how many books we were going to sell and then place an order 6 months in advance so the printer had plenty of time to print and distribute to all the retail channels that existed back in those days. Now it happens with the push of a button to a printer. Same technology dominates the CD industry. You place an order for your favorite artist, they print the jacket, they press the CD, they shrink wrap it, ship it out to your mailbox. This approach has allowed for massive profitability for companies who enlist the long tail philosophy within the fabric of their business. It's a great read if you're looking for some historical perspective on this long tail philosophy, and I think will give you lots and lots to think about. You can find this book, along with many other great reads, at powermarketing101.com/hotlist. That's powermarketing101.com/hotlist. Happiness. It's something we all strive for, but at times it seems almost too elusive and out of range for many people. Today, I want to take a look at a book by a cellular genetics scientist named Matthew Ricard, who 50 years ago left his career and France and became a Buddhist monk in the Himalayas. He's a best-selling author, a translator, a great photographer, and an active participant in the scientific research involved on the effects of meditation on the brain. He's been called the happiest person in the world by media, and our book today is simply called Happiness, a guide to developing life's most important skill. Happiness is that feeling that comes over you when you know life is good and you can't help but smile. It's the opposite of sadness. Happiness is a sense of well-being, of joy, of contentment. When people are successful or safe or lucky, they feel happy. For millennia, philosophers, writers, and artists have sought the key to human happiness. Ricard offers his own musings about the nature of happiness and tips on how to attain it in this book. It can't be found in fleeting experiences of pleasure, the joy of a sunny day, the refreshing taste of an ice cream cone, but only in the depths of an individual's being. Happiness is not self-interested, but rather it's compassionate, seeking the well-being of others. If we are truly happy, writes Ricard, we can change the world because our compassion for others and our desire to end hatred and bring happiness even to those we don't like is what it's all about. For Ricard, happiness is a deep state of well-being and wisdom that flourishes in moments of our life despite the inevitability of suffering. Individuals can, however, learn to minimize suffering in life by practicing moderation in all things, as well as meditation. and there's actually meditative exercises at the beginning of each chapter. He writes, "By happiness, I mean here the deep sense of flourishing that arises from an exceptionally healthy mind. This is not a mere pleasurable feeling, a fleeting emotion or a mood, but an optimal state of being. Happiness is also a way of interpreting the world, since while it may be difficult to change the world, it is always possible to change the way we look at it. In Buddhism, sukha, or happiness, is a state of lasting well-being that unfolds when we have overcome mental blindness and afflicted emotions. The happiest people Ricard has met are Tibetan seers who have tamed their egos through mind-training exercises and are able to approach every person and every situation with natural ease, benevolence, fortitude, and serenity." The author also examines how thoughts such as desire, hatred, and envy become our own worst enemies. Hitting high stride in the closing chapters, Ricard discusses the connections between happiness, kindness, humility, optimism, going through the flow of time, and of course, facing death. I think there are so many gold nuggets in this book that can give you a renewed sense of what is truly important in your life, and may even give you a chance to take a deep breath and slow your life down just a little bit. You can find this book along with many other great reads at powermarketing101.com/hotlist. That's powermarketing101.com/hotlist. Hello, Unleashed Tribe. I am so honored to have you as a loyal listener, and I'm very excited to tell you about the Business Edge Radio app, now available on Apple and Android devices. You can catch up on past episodes, watch short videos of the Business Edge Minute, our 60-second show that gives you quick and easy tips on building a better business and living a better life. And you'll get access to bonus materials that are only available on the app. In fact, I have a nice little PDF bonus waiting for you there right now. Plus, you can email the show, call the show, connect with us on social, check out our website, and even make a nice fluffy omelet. No, you can't really do that. Just go to the iTunes Store or Google Play Store, and you can download the Business Edge Radio app so you can be one of the cool kids on your block. Business Edge Radio, the ultimate brainstorming session for your business and life. Now available in the App Store. Download it today. And if you don't, I'll come visit you on your day off. If you know anything about me, you know that I love my early mornings, and I really love a good cup of fresh roasted coffee. There's nothing better than getting started before the rest of the world with a good cup of joe. That's why I'm so excited to have Mountain Creek Coffee as a partner. The process is so simple. You order, they roast, they ship, you enjoy. They don't roast your beans until an order is placed, which guarantees the absolute freshest coffee that you can get. Check out their artisan dark roast, medium roast, or decaf beans at mtncreekcoffee.com. And when you put in the code EDGE at checkout, you will receive 20% off your first order. I prefer the dark roast because of its full body and bold flavor. You order, they roast, they ship, you enjoy. Log on to mtncreekcoffee.com and enter the code EDGE at checkout, and you will receive a 20% discount off your first order. Pretty cool stuff. Mountain Creek Coffee and Business Edge Radio, a partnership brewed out of the love of coffee. See what I did right there? In today's business world, it's vitally important that you understand what I call the 7 pillars of business success, which are lifestyle design, time management, branding, sales, marketing, pricing, and social media. Regardless of what industry you're in, and whether you have a brick and mortar or are only online, having a solid foundation in these skill sets will set you up for success down the road. And to personally help you with your journey, I've written a book called The Business Basics Bootcamp, the ultimate crash course, now available on Amazon.com and from other fine bookstores. And it will give you a 30,000-foot view on these topics and many more. It'll help you slow down just a little bit so that you can get your business house in order and get your creative juices a-flowing. Log on to Amazon.com today and get your copy of Business Basics Bootcamp, the ultimate crash course. You can search my name, Mitch Graff, or search the title of the book. In the dog-eat-dog world of business success, the weak will perish and the strong will survive. Which will you be?
A day without reading a book is like... Just kidding. I have no idea what that's like. Here's Mitch with this week's book review.
My book review today is on a book that was voted the #1 business book by Inc. 500 CEOs entitled The E-Myth Revisited: Why Most Businesses Don't Work and What to Do About It by Michael Gerber. The E-Myth, which stands for the entrepreneurial myth, is the myth that most people who start small businesses are entrepreneurs. The fatal assumption that an individual who understands the technical work of a business, like a master craftsman that can build a kitchen cabinet blindfolded, can successfully run a business that makes and sells cabinets. Big mistake. This revised and updated edition of the phenomenal bestseller dispels the myths about starting your own business. With years of experience, Gerber points out how common assumptions, expectations, and even technical expertise can actually get in the way of running a successful business. Gerber walks you through the steps in the life of a business, from entrepreneurial infancy through adolescent growing pains to the mature entrepreneurial perspective, and shows how to apply the lessons of franchising to any business, whether or not you have a franchise. And most importantly, Gerber draws the vital, often overlooked distinction between working on your business and working in your business, which is a common theme here on Business Edge Radio. This book tells you how to get your business to run without you. It explains how to get your people to work without your interference. It tells you how to systematize so the business can be replicated over and over again. Plus, it shows you how to do the work that you love rather than the work that you have to do. The E-Myth is that businesses are started by entrepreneurs seeking profit. In actuality, businesses are started by technicians or employees who decide to work for themselves. The problem is they understand the technical work, not the business itself. Gerber explains that we're all composed of 3 different personalities. For your business to succeed, you must play a little bit of each role. Number 1, the entrepreneur, which is a future-focused visionary who pursues opportunities. Number 2 is the manager, a past-focused warrior who plans and organizes. And then number 3, the technician, which is the present-focused worker who concentrates on the task at hand. Most businesses are operated according to what the owner wants, like a place to work freely, not according to what the business needs. If your business depends on you, you don't own a business, you own a job. Think about that for a minute. He discusses how to give your customer the service they want systematically, not personally, and how to create a business whose results are system-dependent rather than people-dependent. Create a system of experts instead of being the expert yourself. Gerber states, don't find a need and fill it, find a perceived need and fill it. This requires knowing your ideal customer psychographics, knowing who your perfect avatar is. Whether you own a business or not, the E-Myth will open your eyes to a whole new perspective on what it takes to be successful at any level. You can find this book, as well as many other great reads, at powermarketing101.com/hotlist. That's powermarketing101.com/hotlist. I'm always looking for ideas on how to better serve my team members, my customers, and when I saw this book, I knew that I had to give it a read. Our book today is The Customer Rules, the 39 Essential Rules for Delivering Sensational Service by Lee Cockerell. We've all heard the phrase, customer's always right, or the customer rules. Well, the executive VP of Walt Disney World not only shows why the customer always rules, but also shares the 39 indispensable rules for delivering the sensational service that keeps customers coming back for more. Through his signature blend of humor and wisdom and folksy storytelling, Lee reveals everything he's learned in his career in the hospitality and entertainment industries about serving customers with such consistency, efficiency, creativity, and sincerity that they will never want to do business with anyone else but you. The end result? Customers are happy. Lee also held executive positions with Hilton Hotels and Marriott, so I think he knows a thing or two about what it takes to make customers happy and satisfied. He knows that success in business, any business, depends upon winning and keeping customers. In these 39 digestible, bite-sized chapters, he shares everything he's learned in his 40-plus year career about creating an environment that keeps customers coming back for more. Examples of the chapters. Rule number 1, customer service is not a department. Rule number 3, great service follows the law of gravity, means it trickles down. Rule number 5, ask yourself, what would my mom do? Rule 19, be a copycat, meaning it's okay to study how the big boys do it and structure your customer service foundation on their shoulders. Rule number 25, treat every customer like a regular. As simple as they are profound, these principles have been shown to work in companies as large as Disney and as small as the local coffee shop, from businesses selling cutting-edge technologies like computer tablets to those selling products as timeless as shoes or handbags. And they have been proven indispensable at all levels of a company, from managers responsible for hiring and training employees, setting policies and procedures, and shaping the company culture, to frontline staff who deal directly with clients and customers. Chock full of universal advice, The Customer Rules is the essential handbook for service excellence everywhere. And you hear stories every day about great service and poor service and everything in between. This simple statement hit me pretty hard. Great service does not cost any more than average service or poor service. When it costs nothing more to offer a smile and a kind word, why isn't it the norm instead of the exception? Your service statement should inspire your staff to new heights of delivering world-class 6-star customer service to your customers. In the chapter on hiring the best people, Cockrell talks about the time he learned to stop asking leading questions in interviews. We all know that interviewing can bring great results, but when the question sets the person up to sound like a rock star, whether they truly are or not, it reduces the value of the responses that they provide. An example he gives is, tell me about a time you went above and beyond to satisfy a customer. He says a better question that you could ask is, tell me about a time you served a customer. And then you judge if it truly is above and beyond type of experience. My biggest takeaway, it doesn't take any more time to give your customers impeccable service than it does to completely drop the ball and send your customers to one of your competitors. So why not be sure you are doing things the right way? You can find this book, as well as many other great reads, at powermarketing101.com/hotlist. That's powermarketing101.com/hotlist. If you know anything about me, you know that I love my early mornings, and I really love a good cup of fresh roasted coffee. There's nothing better than getting started before the rest of the world with a good cup of joe. That's why I'm so excited to have Mountain Creek Coffee as a partner. The process is so simple. You order, they roast, they ship, you enjoy. They don't roast your beans until an order is placed, which guarantees the absolute freshest coffee that you can get. Check out their artisan dark roast, medium roast, or decaf beans at mtncreekcoffee.com. And when you put in the code EDGE at checkout, you will receive 20% off your first order. I prefer the dark roast because of its full body and bold flavor. You order, they roast, they ship, you enjoy. Log on to mtncreekcoffee.com and enter the code EDGE at checkout, and you will receive a 20% discount off your first order. Pretty cool stuff. Mountain Creek Coffee and Business Edge Radio, a partnership brewed out of the love of coffee. See what I did right there? In today's business world, it is vitally important that you understand what I call the 7 pillars of business success, which are lifestyle design, time management, branding, sales, marketing, pricing, and social media. Regardless of what industry you're in, and whether you have a brick and mortar or you're only online, having a solid foundation in these skill sets will set you up for success down the road. And to personally help you with your journey, I've come out with the Business Edge podcast, which you're listening to right this second, and I've also written a book that I can highly recommend called Business Basics Bootcamp, the ultimate crash course, now available on Amazon.com, and will give you the 30,000-foot view of all these topics and many, many more. You know, reading is something that is slowly being replaced by videos and audiobooks or just scrolling through your newsfeed on social media, but I've always found reading to be kind of an escape from whatever is happening in the world. This book will help you slow down just a little bit so you can get your business house in order, so to speak, and get your creative juices a-flowing. Log on to Amazon.com today and get your copy of Business Basics Bootcamp, the ultimate crash course. You can search my name, Mitch Graff, or search the title of the book. In the dog-eat-dog world of business success, the weak will perish and the strong will survive. Which will you be?
A day without reading a book is like... Just kidding. I have no idea what that's like. Here's Mitch with this week's book review.
Too many of us feel trapped by work that keeps us from living our purpose. We fantasize about starting our own business, yet we're warned against falling into debt, working 80 hours a week, and coping with the pressures to grow. Well, my book review today is on the book, The Magic of Tiny Business. You don't have to go big to make a great living, by Sharon Rowe. Like a tiny house, a tiny business is built on maintaining a laser focus on what is essential by living an intentional life. As an entrepreneur and a mother, Rowe is most concerned with putting her family first, maintaining financial security, and doing something that makes an impact on the world. Using the success story of EcoBag's product, which she started and grew into a multi-million-dollar tiny business, Rowe distills the step-by-step process of building a profitable, right-scaled, sustainable venture that doesn't compromise your values. She shows you how to test your concept, manage your money and your priorities, while staying true to the tiny ethos. In a world that seems to exhort get big and get out mentality, especially in business, Sharon Rowe's book has a different message. Go small. Not just small, go tiny. In the same way the tiny house movement pushes for efficiencies, so too does the tiny business model. By eliminating non-essentials, it's possible to live and work more purposefully. The Magic of Tiny Business is a story of how the author took her own tiny idea and made it into a multi-million-dollar business by staying true to her laser-focused principles. We all want a livelihood that fulfills us and that gives us the freedom and gives us meaning. In some cases, staying tiny is the way to succeed in that endeavor. The size of the business is not the consideration here. Rather, it's the owner's mindset. A business can be wildly successful and still laser-focused and efficient. While the book is anecdotal and not an exclusive all-you-need-to-know-about business book, it is a great quick read with useful exercises for tiny business owners. Tiny is a mindset. It's not about size. Like a tiny house where there's limited space for stuff, a tiny business requires that you examine, prioritize, and work with what you value, eliminating what you don't. It's a perfect example of the 80-20 rule that we discuss here from time to time. The Magic of Tiny Business is a breath of fresh air for business owners and entrepreneurs who aren't willing to compromise their personal values in favor of growth and maximizing profits. She offers simple rules such as set a hard 9-to-5 workday schedule, no work on weekends or assigned days off, make family events a priority, don't miss a school play, schedule self-care like exercise and meditation with the same priority as work, and view every problem as an opportunity. The Magic of Tiny Business shows readers how to have the life they want without compromising values or sanity. You can find this book, as well as many, many other great reads, at powermarketing101.com/hotlist. That's powermarketing101.com/hotlist. My review today is on a book entitled How Innovation Works and Why It Flourishes in Freedom by Matt Ridley. Innovation is the main event of the modern age, the reason we experience both dramatic improvements in our living standards and unsettling changes in our society. He argues we need to change the way we think about innovation, to see it as an incremental, bottom-up, fortuitous process that happens to society as a direct result of the human habit of exchange, rather than an orderly, top-down process developed according to a plan. Innovation is radically different from invention. It is always a collective, collaborative phenomena, not a matter of a lonely genius sitting in a room somewhere. It is gradual, serendipitous, contagious, experimental, and unpredictable. He derives these and other lessons not with an abstract argument, but from telling the lively stories of scores of innovations, how they started, why they succeeded, and why some failed. He goes back millions of years and leaps forward into the very near future. Here's some of the innovative stories that he tells in the book. Stories about steam engines, jet engines, search engines, airships, coffee, potatoes, vaping, vaccines, cuisine, antibiotics, mosquito nets, turbines, propellers, fertilizer, zero, computers, dogs, farming, fire, genetic engineering, gene editing, container shipping, railways, cars, safety rules, wheeled suitcases, mobile phones, chlorinated water, toilets, vacuum cleaners, shale gas, the telegraph, radio, social media, blockchain, the sharing economy, artificial intelligence, fake bomb detectors, phantom game consoles, fraudulent blood tests, faddish diets, hyperloop tubes, copyright, and even a biological innovation, life itself. My bet is that there's something in that list that piqued your interest into wanting to check this book out. It will undoubtedly shake up your brain, so be prepared to have your creative juices a-rockin' and a-rollin' after you read this book. You'll find this book, as well as many other wonderful reads, at powermarketing101.com/hotlist. That's powermarketing101.com/hotlist. Hello, Unleashed Tribe. I am so honored to have you as a loyal listener, and I'm very excited to tell you about the Business Edge Radio app, now available on Apple and Android devices. You can catch up on past episodes, watch short videos of the Business Edge Minute, our 60-second show that gives you quick and easy tips on building a better business and living a better life. And you'll get access to bonus materials that are only available on the app. In fact, I have a nice little PDF bonus waiting for you there right now. Plus, you can email the show, call the show, connect with us on social, check out our website, and even make a nice fluffy omelet. No, you can't really do that. Just go to the iTunes Store or Google Play Store, and you can download the Business Edge Radio app so you can be one of the cool kids on your block. Business Edge Radio, the ultimate brainstorming session for your business and life. Now available in the App Store. Download it today. And if you don't, I'll come visit you on your day off. Fans of Business Edge Radio, I have a very special treat for you. As you know, I love barbecuing and making up any excuse to get myself outdoors. And that's why I'm so excited to partner with Barbecue Nation. They make incredible sauces and rubs and spices and meat shredders and grill scrapers and lots more. And they're offering a deal for our listeners. Check out bbqnation.net. And when you place an order for any of their products, you'll receive a 20% discount off your order when you enter the word EDGE at checkout. Looking for a magnet that lists your cooking temperatures or different types of smoking woods? They got that. Need a heavy-duty set of meat shredders for your pulled pork or shredded chicken sliders? They got that too. Or my favorite is their Magic Dust Everything Rub that will spice up just about any dish. Log on to bbqnation.net. That's bbqnation.net today. And when you enter the code EDGE at checkout, you'll receive a 20% discount just because you hang out with us on the show. Barbecue Nation, get your grill on. We've all heard it said before that the best lessons learned are from the School of Hard Knocks. This prestigious university has some of the best alumni in the world, and the curriculum is more difficult than Stanford Medical School. You can't apply for admission, and you don't get to pick your classes. Well, now you can give the gift of a PhD from this prestigious university. This authentic diploma is printed on the same high-quality paper that the top schools in the world use for their diplomas, and comes with an official gold foil seal that will look great framed in any room. This PhD degree will become the center of conversation. Get one for your spouse, for your boss, for your parent. Give them the gift that money can't buy today. When you place your order at schoolofhardknocks.net, you'll receive a special discount of 20% at checkout when you enter the code EDGE. Once again, 20% off your first order when you use the code EDGE at checkout. Schoolofhardknocks.net. That's schoolofhardknocks.net. Get one for that person in your life who seems to have everything, or heck, get one for yourself. You've earned it.
A day without reading a book is like... Just kidding. I have no idea what that's like. Here's Mitch with this week's book review.
My review today is on an eye-opening book entitled The Time Chunking Method, a 10-step action plan for increasing your productivity by Damon Zahariadis. Time chunking is just another name for setting aside an allotted amount of time to complete an activity or a project. I write about it in my book, The Business Basics Bootcamp, The Ultimate Crash Course, and I refer to it as pods of time. And this is just another way of approaching this ongoing challenge that we all face. The key to using the time chunking method effectively is to adjust it to your personal workflow. And the book covers exactly how to do it as the chapters go by. Here's just a few of the topics that Damon covers in his book. The basics of using the technique and how to get started. What to do when you have a laundry list of small tasks to complete. How to modify the time chunking method to complement your workflow. The most common roadblocks you'll face and how to overcome them. The key differences between time boxing and time chunking. How sleep affects your success. How your diet plays a role in your productivity. How to control your stress levels and squeeze maximum mileage from every day. The fundamentals of goal setting. Actionable tips and hacks to prevent burnout. And dozens of other ideas to get the most out of your breaks that separate your time chunks. His goal is to give you a complete action plan that you can use to manage your time and increase your daily output. It's a fairly short book, about 150 pages, and I believe will set you down the path to getting the most of your time each and every day. You can find this book as well as many other great reads at powermarketing101.com/hotlist. That's powermarketing101.com/hotlist. My first review today is on a book called Opportunity. How to Win in Business and Create a Life You Love by Eben Pagan. Well-known entrepreneur, teacher, and technology investor Eben Pagan has spent literally thousands of hours studying opportunity. After interviewing hundreds of successful entrepreneurs, self-made millionaires, and billionaires, he found that successful people have something in common. They are better at finding and creating opportunities for themselves, and they're better at choosing which opportunities to bet on. This book shows you how they do it, giving you the tools to find and create a lot more opportunity in your work, in your business, with money, and in your life. In today's world, we have more options than ever to travel to new places, meet new people, start new businesses, make new investments. But with this increase comes opportunity shock and the confusion that comes from having almost too many options. You will learn what opportunity is, how it works, and where to find it, how entrepreneurs and investors are turning big change into big opportunity, how to discover and develop more great opportunities in business, money, investing, health, happiness, relationships, and personal development, how to overcome fear of failure so you can have more of what you want in your life, how to become an innovator and thought leader, helping others to find their opportunities. As someone who is consistently on the hunt for new and different opportunities myself, I devoured this book over a weekend when it came out a couple years ago, and I came out of it with several great ideas. My biggest takeaway? The biggest opportunity that each of us has is to be alive. We should want to pass on that gift of living life to as many people as we can touch. Opportunities will come and go, but letting yourself be available and sensitive right now is important. Those are the ones that make our life and the lives of the people who mean the most to us more enjoyable. All right, second book is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad: What the Rich Teach Their Kids About Money That the Poor and Middle Class Do Not by Robert Kiyosaki. Now this book's been around for about almost 25 years now. I've read it probably 4 times in my life, and I get something new out of it every single time. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is Robert's story of growing up with 2 dads, his real father and the father of his best friend, his rich dad, and the ways in which both men shaped his thoughts about money and investing. The book explodes the myth that you need to earn a high income to be rich, and explains the difference between working for money and having your money work for you. In the 20th anniversary edition of this classic, Robert offers an update on what we've seen over the past 20 years related to money, investing, and the global economy. Sidebars throughout the book will take readers fast forward from 1997 to today, as Robert assesses how the principles taught by his rich dad have stood the test of time. In many ways, the messages of Rich Dad, Poor Dad that were criticized and challenged 2 decades ago are more meaningful, relevant, and important today than they were 20 years ago. Robert is candid, insightful, and continues to rock more than a few boats in his retrospective. The book explodes the myth that you need to high and earn income to become rich. It challenges the belief that your house is an asset. It shows parents why they can't rely on the school system to teach their kids about money. It defines once and for all what an asset is and what is a liability. and it teaches what you want your kids to know about money for their future financial success. The lesson he illustrates with this example is that sometimes all it takes is just learning one more skill in many cases that will put you over the edge to becoming a big success. In the book, you will learn actual real-life experiences that you and I can relate with on a more personal level. After reading this book, your motivation to build wealth will not be a problem anymore, and your drive to apply the lessons taught will be enough to launch you on a prosperous financial path. You can find these books, as well as many, many other fascinating reads at powermarketing101.com/hotlist. That's powermarketing101.com/hotlist. Hello, Unleashed Tribe. I am so honored to have you as a loyal listener, and I'm very excited to tell you about the Business Edge Radio app, now available on Apple and Android devices. You can catch up on past episodes, watch short videos of the Business Edge Minute, our 60-second show that gives you quick and easy tips on building a better business and living a better life. And you'll get access to bonus materials that are only available on the app. In fact, I have a nice little PDF bonus waiting for you there right now. Plus, you can email the show, call the show, connect with us on social, check out our website, and even make a nice fluffy omelet. No, you can't really do that. Just go to the iTunes Store or Google Play Store, and you can download the Business Edge Radio app so you can be one of the cool kids on your block. Business Edge Radio, the ultimate brainstorming session for your business and life. Now available in the App Store. Download it today. And if you don't, I'll come visit you on your day off. If you know anything about me, you know that I love my early mornings, and I really love a good cup of fresh roasted coffee. There's nothing better than getting started before the rest of the world with a good cup of joe. That's why I'm so excited to have Mountain Creek Coffee as a partner. The process is so simple. You order, they roast, they ship, you enjoy. They don't roast your beans until an order is placed, which guarantees the absolute freshest coffee that you can get. Check out their artisan dark roast, medium roast, or decaf beans at mtncreekcoffee.com. And when you put in the code EDGE at checkout, you will receive 20% off your first order. I prefer the dark roast because of its full body and bold flavor. You order, they roast, they ship, you enjoy. Log on to mtncreekcoffee.com and enter the code EDGE at checkout, and you will receive a 20% discount off your first order. Pretty cool stuff. Mountain Creek Coffee and Business Edge Radio, a partnership brewed out of the love of coffee. See what I did right there? Fans of Business Edge Radio, I have a very special treat for you. As you know, I love barbecuing and making up any excuse to get myself outdoors. And that's why I'm so excited to partner with Barbecue Nation. They make incredible sauces and rubs and spices and meat shredders and grill scrapers and lots more. And they're offering a deal for our listeners. Check out bbqnation.net. And when you place an order for any of their products, you'll receive a 20% discount off your order when you enter the word EDGE at checkout. Looking for a magnet that lists your cooking temperatures or different types of smoking woods? They got that. Need a heavy-duty set of meat shredders for your pulled pork or shredded chicken sliders? They got that too. Or my favorite is their Magic Dust Everything Rub that will spice up just about any dish. Log on to bbqnation.net. That's bbqnation.net today. And when you enter the code EDGE at checkout, you'll receive a 20% discount just because you hang out with us on the show. Barbecue Nation, get your grill on. Well, I hope you're all fired up to dive into a good book tonight and to invest a little time into self-improvement. And that will do it for this edition of Business Edge Radio. My parting shot today is this. Show me a family of readers, and I will show you the people who move the world. Napoleon Bonaparte. Until next time, this is Mitch Graff reminding you to live every day like it's a Saturday and to live with passion. I'll catch you later.
Thanks for hanging out with Business Edge Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to subscribe, rate, and review. Then hop on over to www.mitchgraff.com to get even more meat and potatoes. We also invite you to follow the show at facebook.com/Unleashed Tribe. The most valuable asset that any of us has is our time. And we thank you for choosing to spend some of your precious time with us.